Hi guys, we're back with the third video in the series of me trying to make a bass that sounds like a wall bass. If you follow me this far, you'll know that I've taken a Fender Squier and modified it to have new pickups and a couple of different preamps, the most recent being the Lusithand, which has been a great success. However, at this point, I've also added a new neck. I think I can preface this video by saying I think we're about 80% of the way there to the sound. The new neck has made a huge difference. You're going to hear it for yourself in just a minute, and we'll go through the comparison directly to the wall bass. This multi-laminate maple and mahogany neck I've had very carefully built to try and emulate the wall neck as closely as possible. It behaves really a lot differently to a Fender neck with a single piece of maple and a slab of rosewood glued on top of it. As you're going to hear in a minute and see in a minute, there's kind of more of a slightly compressed quality to things. There's a bit less lows, the mids speak more clearly, and when I stick it under the scope, it looks a lot closer to how a wall behaves. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot closer than it was. And for some of you, I think it will probably be close enough. For me, it's not quite enough. I'd like to get 100% of the way there if I possibly can. So the next video in this series is going to be a new body, a mahogany body with maple facings as our next step. However, that said, let's go into what the comparisons sound like. The direct comparison has been a little bit tricky to make because it turns out the Wal and the Lucid preamps behave a little bit differently. Although the Lusithand preamp adds a lot of grit and character to the sound, which I really like, the frequency response is a little bit different. The Wal preamp has a frequency range that is slightly different for both pickups. The front pickup goes from 100 Hz up to about 2.5, 3 kilohertz, that sort of range. And for the rear pickup, it's 200 Hz up to about 2.5, 3 kilohertz, that sort of range. For the Lusithand, it's the same for both pickups. It's about 170 Hz at the low end, right up to 4 kilohertz, so it gets a little bit brighter. I thought it would be useful for the next section if we ran the signals from the Wal and the Wal-ish basses through a frequency analyzer, level matched as best as I can, to try and make at least some kind of comparison of what they look like under the scope. overall take from reading these myself is that I think there's now a lot more similarity in the low end than with the previous neck. I think up to about 100, 120 hertz. The Fender-ish neck definitely had a lot more low end going on, and this neck I think has much less low end going on. I think there's less happening in the wall bass, between about 2 to 4 kilohertz, which is what you would expect given the difference in the preamp design. I think there's a bit less happening in the Wal-ish bass, around about 600 to 800 hertz, which might explain why it doesn't quite get the characteristic gank in that region that a wall bass would get. That's my take on it. So, there we go, my friends. Another step towards building a bass that sounds like a wall, but looks, feels, and handles like a Fender. It's been a really fun ride so far. Yeah, I can't wait to see what a new mahogany body works out like. Thanks for coming. Hope to see you guys next time.